Welcome on stage, Mr. Dan Malone from Geek Ireland.
Hello. How's everyone doing? Well, if the hat is any indication, it's quite obvious what we're here for. We have two people backstage who will be coming out shortly. The voice actors for Sombra and Symmetra from Overwatch, Anjali, Bhimani, and Carolina Ravassa.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
All right, so
I know these chairs. We just want to spin around in these chairs. Is that okay?
Sorry, it's a lot of fun.
No.
Sorry.
Please, guys, take your time.
Don't mind us. We could go all day,
Yes.
and we will.
All right, so,
If you let us.
so guys, welcome.
Can you hear us? Yes.
Yes?
Oh,
Okay, good.
Because I can't hear myself.
We have no clue what we sound like, but we know you do, and that's what matters.
Lovely.
Right, so it's your first time in Ireland, guys, so
Yeah.
all good so far.
So far,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
good.
so far so good. We got to walk around. You know, we pretty much got here yesterday, so we got to walk around a little bit and explore your lovely city. And then on Monday, we're hopefully going to do a little more extra sightseeing.
Yes.
To check out we commented on this yesterday, how much we love that you've got the sun shining while it's raining and it's cloudy, so you've got the best of everything. And the sun is like peeking through, fighting its way through all the time, which is a nice metaphor for life.
All right, so since you guys worked on Overwatch, like how different have things been? Like I imagine you guys will be attending a lot more events like this, doing the rounds as such. So has it made a big impact on like your day-to-day lives?
Definitely. Yes.
Absolutely, I think for both of us. I think for all of the people involved, even the developers of the game, they knew that the game was going to be big, but had no idea that it was going to be this well received and this embraced by the community. And I think, especially for the two of us who weren't necessarily aware going into this process what the final product was going to be about, especially for Carolina, because she came in later in the game, no pun intended. It's been this amazing surprise and this amazing wealth of love and creativity from this community that has been it's been soul food, I think is the best way to put it.
And I mean, it's not just all the traveling we're doing, which is amazing because we get to meet fans from all over the world, but it's also we met amazing, talented voice actors that are now family. The Blizzard family is wonderful. It's such a great company to work for. It's just been there's so many components to being part of this game that, of course, our life has changed in a really big way. Yeah.
I think the inclusivity of the game itself has spread so far into the community, and Blizzard itself is also so inclusive that it's just, when we say the Blizzard family and the Overwatch family, that's not an exaggeration. It definitely feels like a close-knit group of people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like I remember you guys mentioned last night that like after BlizzCon they have an event just for the cast. So, and I imagine there's a pretty good turnout for that, and like you guys get to see all your friends again. And, yeah, I've seen the videos, especially Lucio's, and they're.
Well, that was the first time we'd met.
Yeah,
and,
that was the first time all of us got
we didn't
together.
even know who Johnny was because we were still getting to know each other. And, we thought he was this crazy outgoing guy who was doing fun videos. And then that video kind of went crazy, too. So that's where we met, most of us. And then, it's continued to be this, like, growing friendship with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I suppose one thing I'd like to ask Carolina for Sombra. So in the animated short Infiltration, she spoilers, I guess, guys, but she uses like Reaper and Widowmaker and the Talon organization in order just to make a meeting happen for herself, and she makes a friend, as she puts it. So what, like, if you had to like speculate on what her like long-term goals are, like Sombra's long-term goals, what do you think she's up to?
I think Sombra's really stealthy and mysterious. And I think in the end she's gonna, because she had such a difficult past, I think that now she only watches out for herself because she knows that that's what it takes to survive. So I don't know what's gonna happen in the future, but I do know that depending on what she needs, she'll make it happen. So even though she's part of Talon, who really knows?
Okay. And then for Symmetra's sort of in like a sort of a moral gray area where she has an ideal, but it's perhaps like the company she's part of, it's their execution of that ideal and like upholding order and what that means. It's sort of in a gray area, but you know, where do you think Symmetra's heart lies? Is it more in just the ideal itself, or how it's executed, I suppose?
Well, I think that's actually something that we have yet to determine in the story, because, you know, for almost everybody in the world, we have moral dilemmas. We have those moments of knowing what we want to happen in the world, but not knowing how to make it happen. And the way that Michael has created the story of Symmetra, you do see that her ideals are her heart is in the absolute right place, but where she's been essentially raised at Vishkar, she now is finding herself questioning like you said, the way that those ideals are being executed. So I think it's actually a really fascinating microcosm, again, for most of the human condition, because very rarely is there someone who's all good guy or all bad guy. We're all trying, I think we all want to do what we think is the right thing, and the differences between people are mostly about how to get to that right thing, you know?
Okay. Where to go from here? I swear I prepared for this, guys, honestly.
Is that me? There we go.
So.
Hack the planet.
Yes.
I'll just start saying stuff.
We'll just start saying lines.
EMP activated.
Exactly.
Oh, actually, that was one thing I was meant to ask. When you recorded the boop voice line, did you expect that to take off as much as it did?
I had no idea. It was hard because I had to. I've explained this a lot, but I used to do this while I was. I can't hear myself. You can hear us, right? Okay. I don't want to bore you or like talk and have you guys be like, "What is she saying?" I kept doing this to while I was recording it, because I felt like I had to sort of
do the motion.
Do it for myself, you know, and I felt like I was ringing a doorbell. But I didn't know, how long the boop was supposed to be, so I did boop, 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 boop. I was like, I don't know what you want. I didn't think it would become a thing, and it's now a thing that'll go on my tombstone. So
yes, the booper in chief.
I'm the booper in chief. Lucio claims to be it, but I don't let that happen. And we're boopers in crime.
First.
Yeah.
Totes.
All right. And so you guys are, from what I understand, good friends outside of just work.
No, we don't like each other at all.
Oh, all right. Sorry,
No.
I must have misread that.
She's no fun. No fun to be around. She's not nice. She's
She fits
not
in my
funny.
backpack. I can take her
yeah,
everywhere.
it's great because I'm like the carry-on baggage. When we travel, we save a ton of money.
I don't pay for excess luggage.
She just shoves me under the seat in front of her like the puppy.
She's small, but we're kind. She's not,
Yeah. Small and bendy.
Small, yes.
Yes, we are good
We're
friends.
great friends, yeah.
Because speaking of bags, I have to ask, what was the inspiration for that video?
Oh, as soon as the bag showed up at the house, she came home with the bag, and I was like, well, you know what we have to do with this bag? I'm going to get in it.
I brought home some goodies from Blizzard for Anjali. I can't remember what the heck was in it, but they were gifts from Blizzard, and so they put them in a big bag because, to carry them all, and it's ginormous, the bag, and she fits in it, so how could we not,
Yeah, no, I mean, anything for comedy.
Yes.
So that was, the inspiration was looking at the bag and being like, well, duh.
Yeah.
What else am I going to do with this bag besides get in it?
Well, anywhere we travel, if we see little, if there was a hole here instead of a TV,
I'll just,
she would want to get into it. So anything small, Anjali's going to try and...
I like to get inside small things and climb tall things.
Yes.
So just a pastime when you're not in the booth recording?
Yeah, I get bored easily.
All right. So you guys said last night you're normally in the booth every 4 months for upcoming content recording. So how much of what you record makes it into the final quarter? Does that vary depending on what's being put into the game?
I don't think I can. I don't know that I can quantify how much makes
fair,
it in.
Yeah.
I think most things do.
Yeah, it feels like most things do. A lot of times we'll do a session and they'll things will come in later in the game, in a different event or something like that, or later in a different update.
And then we record stuff and we forget about it, and then I'm like,
That's-
hey,
yeah.
dude. I'm like, oh, I remember that line. You know, I'd forgotten it. So
exactly. I completely forgot about setting up the car wash until all of a sudden the anniversary happened. I was like, oh, yay!
Yeah.
I forgot about that
But
one.
I mean, they're 4-hour sessions, but it's not like we record every line a few times, so sometimes it takes a while to get that line right. So
Exactly.
4 hours will happen, but it's not like we record a gazillion lines, you know. And then
Yeah.
of those 10 takes, they choose one. So, but I think that they're very careful about writing them and recording them. So they usually make them. I mean, I would say most of them go in. Then again, we've recorded like 400 lines, so it's hard to know.
Yeah.
To remember all of them and what didn't make it in, I have no idea.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So, but out of all those lines, then I know obviously there's a tremendous amount that have been recorded, but like, what would be like some of the ones that were like, which ones did you have the most fun recording, or the most memorable for yourselves, if you
all the
have any?
death.
Go.
No, it's
I
the
hated
death.
them.
I didn't love them either, but it's kind of hilarious when you're doing all of the death sounds. Because, where else? Okay, so now you're falling off a cliff, but you hit something on the way down. And you have to do all that. So like, okay, now you're dying by freeze ray. Like, you have to figure out all of these different ways to die, and inevitably that takes a toll on your voice. But it's not something you get to do every day. So that's.
I just felt
kind of
really
fun.
dumb doing them, Like, I didn't think I was doing them properly, so they were like, you fall and then you smash. So it's like, you know? And then I feel silly at the end of it. And they're like, great job, moving on. And you're like, ooh, thanks God.
But that's where we have to hand it to Michael and Andrea. Andrea's our voice director on the game, and Michael the head writer, because they're the ones who are always in on our sessions, or more often than not in on our sessions, making the decisions about how something might need to sound or what direction to give us. And we just need to trust them implicitly because they know what this is going to look like. They know where this is going to fit in the story. We are on a need-to-know basis as far as what information we're given, which is probably for the best because then we don't give away any spoilers. But it's a huge testament to their understanding of the big picture that they can guide us even when we may not know what we're doing.
Exactly.
So would there be a lot of winging it then in the booth sometimes, where you're just sort of like, I'll just give this a shot and see how it goes?
For the death or just other things in general?
In general, yeah.
I think that now, well, I don't know about you, but
now.
I'm guessing that most of us have understood our characters well enough that now I read a line and I know how Sombra would say it, Even if they give me a Symmetra line, I know how Sombra would say it.
Yeah.
And so we usually give 3 takes of each line in a different way. And by now I feel like they're like, okay, we got it, because it's in there. I think at the beginning it took me a little bit longer to find the right tone, or like enough sass, but enough confidence, but enough, dark humor. Because like Sombra has a very specific way of like messing with the other characters. So now I think that we know, like, we always have an idea of what we want to bring in, and then they might tweak it depending on what's happening in game at that point. But I feel like now I totally get her really well,
Yeah.
Okay, so aside from then your own characters, obviously, is there any characters that you would have liked to have voiced in Overwatch?
Whenever we're asked this question, I feel like I have to figure out, do you mean with the actual voice that I have in real life, or the voice I wish I could do regardless of what my actual voice can do?
Well, I suppose just a character that you would feel would be an interesting challenge to try and voice them, or just they would have been fun to do yourselves.
That's exactly it. If I had my dream, I'd be like Reinhardt or Torbjorn. Especially with that voice coming out of this.
Yeah.
It would be someone hammer down. Like I can't even go to that deep rumbly
that's
plays
hard.
that Darren does.
But then again, when I was, every time I learned Fio's lines and Yada, I'm like, he's just like, pass into the iris.
It feels so
Relax
good.
into this chair.
Yes.
Like everything, I'm just like, I don't think you exert, like when you're dying, you're like, I'm dead. So maybe that could be like an interesting, relaxed session,
I would have enjoyed Sombra or Ana, and I think, or Widowmaker, because they all 3 have a lot of sass.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, like,
dude, you got
so
sass.
does Symmetra.
You were not meant for greatness.
I know. She has the best, like, the most elegant disses in the game.
Yes.
There's elegant ways to be
tell you
mean
you're
to
a
each
piece
other.
of...
That.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I feel like I love Anna. I love Anna as a character. I want to be Anna when I grow up.
Well, I want to be Jen Cohn when I grow up. She's Farah.
Yeah.
I feel like every time she does her lines, her eyes light up in this way that's very childlike. So it makes me want to go, justice reigns from above. You know, because like, I don't know. I think we vary depending on the day. It's like, oh, sometimes I want to be Widowmaker. You know, it's kind of depending on the mood.
Also, since we've essentially fallen in love with the entire Overwatch family, I think every time we hear each other's, like when we hear Crispin do a Winston line, I'm just like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to like baby Winston. You know,
Yeah.
so it's
And
really
I just
hard
met
to pick.
Arisa.
Oh God,
They're so cute, you know?
super sweet.
I want to do her lines now because you want to hug the little robot. I don't know. We love them all. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's a tough question.
All right. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. So, oh yeah, sorry, Anjali. So you voiced Nisha in Fallout 4 as well. Like that's you said before that they're sort of they had similar backgrounds and sort of went totally different ways
Of handling it.
but,
Yeah.
Like how, like what's that like voicing a character who's so deranged, I guess.
Yeah, psychopathic. What's interesting about Nisha is that I feel like she will kill someone as if she's doing the dishes. The two have the same level of morality to her. And so playing that particular psychotic character wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't too much of a stretch because that makes me sound psychotic.
You are,
but
though.
I know, just like not quite the same kind of psychotic. But she's very self-possessed. She's essentially Symmetra without the accent in terms of the level of smoothness and elegance that she has to everything she says, because to her, this is just a way of life. It just happens to include killing people for no reason. And wearing a helmet that I don't know how she sees through. But yeah, it was loads of fun because, again, you know, you'll say things that you can't imagine saying in real life, but as if it's no big deal. And so, I mean, I really enjoyed it. It's not a character whose head I'd want to live in for very long.
Yeah, I can imagine, because when I played through Fallout 4 myself, I remember reaching that point and it was just sort of like backing slowly out the door when I walked in. I was like, I don't want to get involved with this.
When people apologize to me for killing her, I'm like, don't apologize. That means I did my job right, because you should want to kill her. She's scary.
You're
and
not a pleasant character.
she's not a pleasant character, but loads of fun to play.
Yay!
Yep.
Can I boop you?
Look at her. She was meant
Gotta
for
get that out of the way,
Just get
you
it
know.
out of the way.
You know, I wasn't sure if it would be okay to ask that, because I imagine you get asked it all the time, but...
Never.
Oh,
No one ever asked.
I've started doing physical therapy because the fingers getting a little
And she has
arthritic.
to alternate between,
Yeah, so-
fingers. She does one at a time.
But I can't boop with like other ones, so you know, I'm working these out.
Yeah, so I've noticed just from how you guys talk, you guys can just switch the accents on, and like it's just an easy transition. Do you guys normally have to do like warm-ups before you do your sessions?
I just do a little bit of vocal warming up just to keep my voice warm, because you never know when you're in session whether it's going to be at this level or you're going to be screaming, or I mean they give you a little warning if it's going to be something extremely, you know, loud or any kind of yelling or anything like that. They always push that to the end of the session so that you're not tiring out your voice at the beginning. But I just like to do a little bit of warming up in the car just so you have the full range of voice. But
I warm up on the subway, look
Yeah.
like a crazy person
Yeah.
in New York.
I do that.
Yeah.
I just look like a crazy person all the time. I just
But
make faces.
no, I mean, we do warm up our voices, but in terms of the accents, I like
Yeah.
Hispanic accent I do pretty often, so it's not something I have to worry about.
Yeah.
If I had to do Moira, I would have to practice it every morning before I'm doing the Irish accent. So some accents are harder than others, and so sometimes I have to go back to my Russian and brush it up if I'm going to do something like that. But Spanish is just it's there, you
Yeah.
know. So depending on the accent, I think we worry a little more or less about it. But
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did you guys get a chance to meet Genevieve at all, the voice actor?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, all right.
She's doing a show at the West End, so she couldn't go to BlizzCon this year. Maybe next year. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully,
Yeah.
because like I've listened to some of the voice lines, and you guys may not know this, but the Irish language actually isn't that commonly spoken here at all. So one thing that I think was brilliant was a lot of her voice lines are Oscar
That's
in Irish.
amazing.
It is, and one thing
Amazing.
like you guys know, Overwatch is like renowned for its how inclusive it is and how well researched everything is. So for myself to see that and like not even know what she's saying, I would only hope that like that would drive like younger people to be like,
I want to learn.
yeah, I want to learn how to
Yeah.
like, just to know what she's saying, so
Yeah.
I know what abilities to avoid in competitive. But
I've had a lot of comments from Hispanic kids in New York or just in the U.S. wanting to learn Spanish so they can understand Sombra, and they might be from Hispanic heritage, and all of a sudden they're interested in learning because now their parents love Sombra, and so they feel more connected to their roots, and I think that's beautiful. So if it happens here, I think that's phenomenal. I love that it's bringing people closer to maybe their roots or another culture that they might be interested in.
yeah, actually, from your interactions with the community, have you found a lot of that where people will be like, oh, because of like, Sombra or Symmetra, I discovered this. Like, has there been a lot of discovery from the community that they've accredited to you for certain things they found interesting in?
I don't know if this counts as discovery so much as inspiration, and I certainly can't take credit for it. But I found that there are a lot of people who once it was made canon that Symmetra was on the autism spectrum, a lot of people have come to me and said it means so much to see a strong and powerful character who's also on the spectrum. And for me, it means so much because I feel like the whole point of hero stories, the whole point of superheroes in our mythology and in our lore is not I'm waiting for Superman to save the day, it's I want to be Superman. So the more we can identify with any kind of superhero, whether it's because it's a Latina character or an Indian character or a character on the spectrum or a homosexual character, exactly, whatever it is, if there's some aspect of ourselves that we see in another hero, then hopefully we can see the hero in ourselves. And I would hope that from everything that I'm hearing from people on the spectrum or parents of children on the spectrum, that this is one more step in them being able to recognize that they have superpowers too. They have a different set of obstacles than maybe the average person, but they also have a different set of skills. And that's to be celebrated and cultivated as much as the obstacles are to be overcome.
Yeah, so more to focus on the positives of it than anything, and to accredit the strength, not to, like, the improvements they may make in their own lives, like to accredit that to themselves and their own ability to overcome challenges rather than just the inspiration that they work to get themselves through it. Is that sort of what you mean?
Yeah, and also I think any person in the world who we look at who has achieved some kind of great success has done it through their own uniqueness. They haven't done it because they've been perfect. They've done it because they've been quote unquote flawed in some way and taken those particular traits and turned them into some kind of a strength or worked with them to make them something special in the world. So if someone on the spectrum can see that their strength, if someone of different physical abilities, of different shapes, different sizes, whatever it is, if people can see that in themselves, then I think they can start to recognize how to mold those characteristics into something that's more useful for them.
Even something as simple as accents, I think that because Overwatch embraces that, all of a sudden, if you talk like this, it's not a problem. It's not that you don't speak English properly, you just happen to be from Latin America. Like, I think that's really cool because now you can embrace it in a way that you're proud of it. You don't have to worry about it. I think that we worry about too many things, that we're not good enough with this or that or my specific look, or you know what I mean? And I think that's why Overwatch has these characters that are also different physically as well. Besides disabilities that turn into abilities, I also think that the looks are so different, And so the different body types, the fact that Zarya isn't your stereotypical Russian model is a great thing, It's really cool that she's a bodybuilder and some women want to embrace that, and I think it's a great opportunity to show just all these sorts of different characters,
Okay. So with that, I think we'll pass it over to you guys if you have any questions. I believe we have people on the floor with microphones. Are they around? Yes. So, yeah. Any questions, guys?
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to Ireland, first of all.
Thank
I hope you're
you.
enjoying your time here. My question is, do you guys play the game? And if you do, who would you play?
Do we play the game? Yes. Do we play the game well is a different question.
No.
No. The answer is absolutely not. I have attempted most of the time to play as Symmetra because I feel like, I should know how to play her. And then one or two times I tried a bunch of other characters and realized I would probably be better at any other character than I am at Symmetra. So now I'm just purely stubborn and just want to play Symmetra until I get it right. But I'm so uncoordinated with the console. Like even like you see me doing this and you're like, that's not how you do any of that. I run into walls, I fall off cliffs.
I jump off cliffs to see what I'll do,
just
and then
to
I
see.
die.
And then I'm like, I remember making that sound. Oh, that's great. A for effort.
I'm gonna try this. My New Year's resolution is to try a little harder at playing the game. Sombra's.
You're gonna come over to my house. and
Sombra's
play
hard,
Overwatch.
so maybe I'll start with a tank and see what happens.
Yeah. I feel
Thanks
like
very much.
if I were to play Reinhardt more often,
Yeah.
I might do a little bit better.
Or Farah or Soldier,
Yeah, maybe Soldier.
I've heard. That's what they tell me.
The dragon skin is so cool. I just want to play Symmetra.
Well, go to town. Go to town.
Just sit her down in her dragon skin and look fine.
Hello.
Hi. So I have a question. With
Talk
the new-
into the mic, love.
Can you hear me?
Barely.
So I have a question in terms of the new Blizzard map that was
No,
released.
really close
loud.
like this.
Can you
Yeah.
hear me now?
There you
There
go.
you go.
Okay, yeah. And so I have a question in terms of the new Blizzard map that came out, Blizzard World. What would your character be doing in this map? Like, if they were there right now.
Still having a little trouble hearing you. In what map? In
the new map, Blizzard World?
Oh, in the new map.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't really checked out the new map so much, to be
Sombra
honest.
would play with her teddy bear.
Sombra would you know what Sombra would be at? She would be at the shooting range with all the teddy bears up there. You know the thing, that like when you're at a fair or a carnival and you win stuffed animals? I just decided what you'd be doing.
Thank you.
You're
That's
welcome.
super helpful.
You're welcome. I'm a helper.
Yeah. Hello, Teresa.
Hello, loves.
Cheers, love.
Oh, scary. So my question for you is, when you go out drinking, out of everybody,
What is this drinking?
We
you
don't
speak
drink.
of?
What are you
I'm
talking
sorry.
about?
who
drinking-
says the voice lines the most?
Oh.
Boof.
We all joke around enough, you know.
I probably, I'm gonna
Now
plead
every
the fifth on
every
that.
time I do cheers though,
She
I say
doesn't.
cheers love and I'm like, oh my god, I'm quoting this game all the time. And then I chuckle to myself because I make fun of Tracer. I think we're all kind of equally nerdy like that, you know?
Yeah, I don't do it so much when I'm out on the town as when I'm driving. I like to use my voice lines in traffic.
She talks to herself.
I talk to because I don't know if you know about the traffic in Los Angeles, but it's legendary. So you prepare yourself to not go anywhere for a long time.
So what
I
do you
entertain-
say to yourself while you're driving?
well, thank you for the setup.
Yeah.
Like if a lane opens up, I'll say, I have opened the bath. Or, if I'm speeding by someone who cut me off, you were not meant for greatness.
I don't know her, guys. She's,
You love me.
I should start saying stuff on the subway in New York.
Oh my goodness.
They'll
I'd be
just
so
think I'm
happy.
crazy, though,
But
so
that's just New York.
That's true.
So
That's
everybody's
true.
talking to themselves. They're just on the phone.
That's true. Yeah. Where is that microphone? Oh,
Hello.
Amanda.
Sally.
Sally-Ann. Yes.
Very similar.
I was wondering if you guys could imagine in the future who your characters would end up with romantically in the game. Who do you think you might end up with, your character-wise now, or preference?
They always ask about those ships,
I know, it's
Uh-oh.
such dangerous waters to
Yes.
tread. I made the mistake of answering this question randomly in an interview once and got so much anger from people. And I was
who-
like, guys, I just made it up in the second. That's just my opinion. I still feel like Symmetra right now is so focused on her work. I don't know where there is a tremendous amount of room for an entire relationship in her world, but I do suspect that when/if it happens, it will completely take her off guard. Like I would imagine it being someone that we don't suspect it to be.
Hey, it will sweep you off your feet.
Yes.
Imagine if it was Torbjorn.
Oh, Torbjorn!
That would be so cute.
Torbjorn!
I just ship everybody with everybody.
Torbjorn! I'm not
You
gonna
know?
stop. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can. She has Torbjorn Tourette's.
I have Torbjorn Tourette's. It's my favorite.
Or turrets.
Tourette's?
Turbettes. We're,
I'm
you know.
sorry. This is not
I
funny.
ship everybody with everybody. So I just love all the ones you guys make up. I'm gonna celebrate them all. You know.
That's also the thing, is that we don't love to answer questions like that because we don't ever want to stifle the creativity of the community. Because you guys come up with the coolest fan art and fan fiction and like combinations and plots and all sorts of cool things that are so creative. We would never want you to not do something because we just gave an opinion that means nothing. Our opinion, basically we're saying our opinion means nothing.
It doesn't matter.
What matters is what you guys think.
Exactly.
What matters is what you guys are excited about.
Hello, microphone.
Hi.
Hello?
I was wondering what's your favorite cinematic of...
Cinematic.
Yeah.
Bastion.
We were saying Bastion. He's so cute. It's just such a touching
Bastion.
story.
It is. It reminds me of Wall-E.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's so, again, a testament to the people working on these cinematics at Blizzard, that they could do an entire short with no language and convey so much heart and emotion.
Although the latest one is awesome.
Oh yeah, that's true. The Reinhardt one is pretty fantastic.
Really cool.
And I kind of love the Sombra one. Like love the Sombra one, not just because it's you, but because it's so active and sassy, and like there's so many twists and turns, and you're like, who is this cool thing? I'm not going to kill you. It's my favorite line in that one.
So where are we? There we are.
Hello. So Sombra and McCree have interactions. Like, how much does Sombra actually know about McCree? Like, what's their relationship to each other?
I'm not quite sure. I wouldn't want to say something that Blizzard hasn't decided. Yeah. I do think they're buds in a way, because there is a comic where they're drinking together at the bar. Clearly Sombra can hold her liquor and McCree cannot. But I think maybe they hang out and, you know, have a good time at the local pub. But besides that, I'm not quite sure yet. And that would be information I would be scared to disclose. If I told you, I would have to kill you. Please.
Oh, hello, May! Sorry. So we have some characters from Overwatch who are in Heroes of the Storm, like Genji and Diva. Would your characters ever be in another video game? And if you could choose where, like would it be World of Warcraft or Hearthstone or?
Go ahead.
No, I'm dying to be in Heroes of the Storm. So I'm waiting for that to happen, but I don't know if it will, so I'm just crossing fingers.
Yeah, I agree, because I just think it's such a great, the overlap is so beautiful. It's so fun. And like even with that most recent Hanzo, when they put Hanzo in there, and with the new cinematic with that, how cool it was combining the world. So I lean to that.
Yeah.
When you do play the game, do you ever go on the voice chat and just start spreading the voice lines just to confuse people?
I am not yet coordinated enough to pull off that level of mayhem. I do have a goal / dream, because I dream so big, of someday going in and playing a different character, but then setting up the car wash, and people getting all scared. Hi! And people getting scared when like, where's the room? Where's the microwave? Oh no! So that would be kind of fun to make people worry about it. But other than that, I can barely walk forward and look in the right direction at the same time. I'm afraid to go on the voice channel, because if people find out it's actually me being this bad at the game, they'll lose all respect for me. I want so badly to be good at it, and I'm trying. I
would be so bad that I would be swearing the whole time.
Oh yeah, that would not go well for us.
That would be really bad.
That would not go well.
So I have to get a little better before I can start trolling people.
Yeah.
I might have somebody play next to me, and I'll just shoot out some lines.
Yeah, we
To
might
be
have to.
crazy.
So we'll invite Josh over because Josh is really good.
Yeah,
Josh can
Roadhog
come
is
over and
good.
we'll just speak into the mic.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. If you were to have a favorite voice line, what would they be?
Oh,
If
this
we
is
could say
so
what
hard. A
voice-
favorite voice
a
line.
favorite voice line?
I have my favorite voice line of hers.
Go.
Relájate. I'm not going to kill you.
Yes. I know who's been naughty. Oh, I also love, hey, dude. Come on, it's funny, you know?
That
It's
was
funny
pretty
when I
dope.
speak in Spanish, sometimes I'll be like, no, dude, es que no sabes lo que te está diciendo. Dude, vení pa' acá, dude. And in Spanish, so many Latin American countries will say dude with a Spanish accent as we're speaking in Spanish. So I think it works out. It's
dope.
good.
That's dope. I like that.
Hi.
Hi, I'm just wondering, in the lore anytime, if Sombra and Symmetra ever meet up, what kind of way would they be introduced to each other? Or would they have a rocky relationship at first? Or maybe to kind of chill in a way?
It's so hard because I don't even want to speculate on that because we don't know in the world yet what's happening. And like we said before, we don't ever really want to stifle anybody's creativity in that matter.
There's two mercies over there.
What?
Two.
Wow, two. Like, it sort of looks like a
Sorry.
mirror because one has their back to. It looks
I
like
know.
okay.
I have
Sorry,
ADD.
sorry,
I
sorry.
apologize.
Sorry, she saw a shiny thing.
Squirrel.
I do suspect that it would be once again a situation of something so completely opposite that it would be explosive in some way. We don't know. I have a feeling they'd make a great team.
I kind of think they'd get along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might drive each other a little nuts, but totally get along.
I think they'd be buds, but so we hope, but one never knows.
Yeah.
We're
And again-
waiting for that comic.
And again, I am always nervous about saying anything, even if it's just like a guess or an opinion, because I don't ever want to be right and spoil
Yeah.
something.
Disclosure, these are our opinions. They aren't Blizzard facts.
Yeah, we
Thank you.
genuinely probably know less about
you
the
do.
lore than you do.
Oh, definitely.
Because other than like what is put out in public, we know. And there's about this much more that we know. And that's very much at the last minute when something is about to happen. So, yes.
Hello, my friend.
Hello.
That's so good.
How's it going? I was just wondering, as voice actors, have you ever blown out your voice and what tips or hints and tricks? Like I used Manuka honey once when I blew out my own voice and it helped. I was just wondering if you have any tricks or tips or anything like that.
Yeah.
Rest.
Rest and also don't ever just like the rest of your body, your voice and your vocal mechanism need to stay in shape. And even though the vocal folds themselves are not muscles, the muscles surrounding them, the muscles in your neck, all of that stuff still needs to be maintained on a regular basis so that when you go into a voice session, you're not in a situation where, oh crap, I have to yell for 5 minutes and now my voice is gone. Because something like that is going to be taxing for even the most prepared voice actor. So I would definitely say either be in singing lessons or some kind of voice lessons on a regular basis, just to maintain that water, steam. And if you find yourself in a place where you've completely blown out your voice, rest, and lots of steam, because that's the only way you can actually get to the vocal cords need water in order to be able to repair themselves and function well. Once they're dehydrated, they slam against each other and then you blow out your voice. That's basically like the short version of it. I'm a doctor. So the more you can drink water and keep your whole body hydrated, and also steam, because that's the only way you can actually get to your vocal folds. If you drink water, it doesn't get to them. Both of those two things will be really helpful. And in the worst case scenario, you can go to a doctor and they can help you out. But don't do that too often.
Hi. So in a recent Overwatch comics, we learned Sombra's name as Olivia Colomar. How do you think that affected her as a character, moving forward, and her lore? Because her whole story is getting rid of her name. Are things from her past going to start coming up, or how are things from the future going to start affecting it? Is she going to go against Zarya for finding out about it?
That's a hard question. So far, I think only Zarya knows it, right? I haven't thought about that, Jordan. So I'm gonna keep thinking on that. Help?
I think it's just an exciting thing. Like, once again, we're dealing with a few characters who we don't know. We know that Sombra is allied with Talon, but really she's ultimately out for herself. We know that Zarya is helping Volskaya, but we don't really know what her ulterior motives are. Similar to Symmetra. These are people who are a little bit fluid.
Yeah.
So I wonder if being taken off guard in that moment is something that would endear her more to someone else's cause, because if anything, you know the statement, keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer.
I also think that the more we discover about the characters, like the fact that Sombra has a teddy bear, or the fact that now we know her name, we're getting closer to the real her rather than this hacker. You know, you go online, nobody knows who you are because you're like, Talon, 65, 78, John, you know? So, and this is like just this name that nobody knows who you are, and you can say whatever you want, but the more we start digging behind that persona, we find out who they really are. So I think that if anything, it's getting us closer to her true self, and maybe realizing that she's not as like hardcore as she seems. I think she's got to have a mushy side, you know? Yeah. Like a soft side to her. And I think we'll discover more of that as time goes on. Hi.
Hi. So I usually watch, obviously, like, I love your guys' voice acting and everything, but I love your guys' YouTube as well. Like I Am Fun Size a lot.
Thank you.
And I love your series, Spanglish Accent. It's really good.
Thank you.
Really funny. But usually when I be watching them, I get drifted off to interviews from you, like obviously from suggested videos. I think one of the interviews you've done, Anjali, I think you said about wanting the Indian voice lines for Symmetra. And I just want to know, did you have any any hands in putting the Namaste into Symmetra when she says hello? Or was that a decision by Blizzard? Or was it together?
Ultimately was a decision by them.
Yeah.
I did put a bug in their ear, just letting them know, hey guys, I can do this. This is possible, in case you do want to move forward with that. Because, you know, it would be borderline racist to just assume that I can speak Hindi because I'm Indian. So I wanted to let them know, no, I totally can do this. It's okay.
Yeah,
I'm not great at speaking Hindi, but I'm good enough that we can make this happen.
Yeah, because it's good to have the actual native voice actors. Like Moira has got an Irish voice lines now.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
But I think Blizzard all along, I think they have intended to do as much as they possibly can to honor the nationality and the ethnic backgrounds of all of their characters. So I suspect whether I had said that or not, that was somewhere in their plan. They just might not have known that I was capable of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
So,
hello.
Hello.
If there's any accent you could have, what accent would it be?
For like another character, or?
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like I always say with Jamaica,
yeah.
because I love talking like this, but I don't really know.
I know. I do love the French accent in real life, but I feel like since I've got that, I want to explore something that I know nothing about. I actually suspect it would be
Junkrat.
Yeah,
Australian?
Aussie.
Yes.
Aussie would be fun. There's something inherently fun about the Australian accent.
Yep.
And the Irish accent is so warm. And also Orissa's accent is so warm, so that would be fun. I also love the power of the Russian accent. I mean, they're just like so many. It's like accent Christmas. I want
a tough
them all.
question. Yeah.
All of them. We want every accent.
Hey. Can you say a voice line in your best Irish accent?
Oh, God.
Oh my God. Good question.
Besides from Boo.
Everything can be hacked, and everyone.
Is
that Scottish? Does that sound like Scottish or Irish?
a little at the end it went Scottish,
I-
but not about it.
You gotta help me out with
You
that.
guys, I am so horrified right now that my stomach literally just dropped.
You just gotta try. Just jump into the cliff.
Tell me a voice.
Jump off the cliff.
Welcome to my reality.
Welcome to my reality. Oh, I keep doing this, but it's
But
Scottish.
that's Scottish, right? And when I do Scottish, I sound Indian. So it's all a circle.
How about you say one of them and we imitate it?
Yes, yes. Oh, that would be so
Just
much
like
better.
you speak. You
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have
yeah,
to
just
even
like
act.
Please, please.
Or anybody can grab
Please,
a microphone.
anyone.
There
Go
was.
get it. Go get it.
Where's the microphone?
Where's the
actually?
microphone?
Oh, all the way over
Oh,
there.
there it is.
Ah.
We'll be back around to you. Oh, hello.
Hello. Outside of Overwatch, are there any vocal performances that really inspired your careers as voice actors?
Wow. I can't say that there were vocal performances that inspired our career. Both of us have started as actors in general, and voice acting is one branch of that tree. You often bring up Robin Williams, which is like, because he's so, I mean, that man is, whether he was doing it live on stage or, you know, in animated films, he was always so capable of being such a chameleon with his voice, with his body, with everything. And I'm going to piggyback on that
Yeah,
one.
he's a big inspiration.
Definitely a big one. But, yeah, no, I don't know for voice acting necessarily, other than he's a big one.
I think that just as small kids, you know, when we're watching cartoons, I imitated, yes, Robin Williams doing different stuff, but like when I watched commercials, I'd be like, Pantene for this and this hair. And like, I wanted to imitate the stuff I was hearing because I knew that I'd want to do something like that. So you just start picking up little, you know, little kid voices and stuff. And so then all of a sudden you realize you want to do it. It's not necessarily one performance, but just like being a kid and watching Disney, you know?
I will say that as an adult, I am more inspired by other voice actors because now that we've gotten to meet so many of them through the community, it's really amazing to see the things that people can do. It's really phenomenal. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If I could just chip in here, I know this gentleman's next, but there's a little boy over here who's been trying to get his hands on a mic. He's had his hand up since the beginning. If we could get over there, that'd be great.
Let's
Thanks, guys.
do it. Let's do it. Is it for you? Here he comes. That's so kind. I'm
He's
so
just
glad.
there in the Reaper t-shirt. He's walking up towards you now.
Yes, Reaper. Die.
What was your reaction when you found out that you were going to be voice acting Sombra and Symmetra in Overwatch?
This is going to sound very not impressive, but I was, because we didn't know, you know, in the beginning when they had us audition, there was a code name for the game, so we didn't know what the game was. We didn't really know what our characters looked like, any of that.
Our characters' names were different.
Yep. Like I think I was just Satya. I don't.
I was Noche, not Sombra.
Yeah. So, although that's a great name too. So the excitement was cool. I booked a job for this amazing company, Blizzard, that I know of, and that was kind of
But
it.
I don't know what it means.
I don't know what the full scope of it is.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if I speak for both of us, but I think I do. The excitement came after we recorded and then saw it in the big picture. You know, when we saw the whole game, when we saw all of the cinematics coming out leading up to the release of the game, when we saw people getting excited about it before the game even came out, it was all because of you guys that we were like, oh wow, this is a bigger thing than we ever, you know, we're small parts of this giant mechanism, but it was really exciting when it first came out and we saw how everyone took it.
I think we were just excited to get a job where we get to do the voice for a character, and once I saw the picture of Sombra, I was like, oh, cool. But I had no idea what Overwatch meant in the grand scheme of things, and I don't think I really knew until I was at BlizzCon and she came up on the screen and hacked the screens, and I was like, that's me, and 30,000 people are freaking out. Here, the ones that are online are even more. So I think that we didn't realize the impact until, you know, it's out. And actually, after Johnny Cruz did that first video, then it's kind of, we realized that so many people were so entertained by it, but we didn't know what it was. So I think that it's been a surprise for all of us. Yeah. Great question.
Okay, so I think that's all we have time
No,
for.
we're going to do some Irish lines.
Oh, all right.
I'm serious about this.
Yes, right here.
Can we get
right
the
here.
mic over here to this gent in the blue cap?
All right, let's end
Get
this
ready, buddy.
by embarrassing ourselves.
Give me some of your favorite Symmetra and Sombra lines.
Okay, so I'm a big Sombra main, and well, I think we can start with some Moira voice lines first.
Okay,
Moira? Sure, sure.
We don't know Moira's voice lines, so let's try
so,
it.
you know she speaks Irish a lot, yeah?
Are you gonna
Okay,
throw
don't
some
even go into the Irish,
Like,
that'll
dude,
sound
I
like...
could teach you how to say
Dude, you're
something.
killing us. Okay.
There's surrender to my will is Gail Demahol.
Gail Demaho.
Hull.
Hull.
So Gail Demahol.
Gail Demahol.
Gail Demahol.
That's great.
I want to say it with an Indian accent. That feels so wrong.
Gail Demahol.
Gail Demahol.
That's funny though. Gail Demahol in
There
Spanish.
you go. See?
Do you know? Yes.
How talented are we?
I know.
We're speaking Irish in our native accent.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Oh
was
my
perfect. There's some Dublin, I guess, slang that Moira
Okay.
uses, which is really great.
Okay.
There's the state of you.
Say it again.
The state of you.
Now,
The state of you.
the state of you.
Yeah, that was good.
And then you want to say it
there's-
as Symmetra.
Do
the
we sound
state of
crazy?
You're a chancer.
you. You're a chancer.
Yeah.
You're a chancer.
So it's the
So-
R, right here?
The R.
The R, not the R.
It's like forward, yes.
All right, the R. You guys were getting thank you for our.
We're taking a
lesson, our
class
dialect
in
lesson.
Irish. Thanks, love. Cheers, love.
Okay, so I'm afraid that's all we have time for, guys. Sorry if you
Boo.
didn't get to ask your questions, but yeah.
Thank you
Thank you
guys for coming
guys.
out.
We will be.
Setting up the
over
car
there.
wash.
We'll be setting up the car wash over there. We'll be over at our table. Come by, say hi. If you have more questions, we're going to be sitting there and enjoying ourselves, and we'll be doing photos.